IEBC. IEBC is supposed to be a referee. In a match, anybody who causes foreplay is given a yellow or red card. IEBC is compromised. It's part of the fraud.
How so?
And you find, even in the midst of bribery, midst of violence, midst of goons being sent all over on the election day, in the midst of even people caught carrying marked ballot papers, IEBC has been looking the other way, see no evil, hear no evil.
So who was caught carrying?
We experienced issues in these elections that deserves interrogations, discussions, and decisions. It's not possible that the chairman of the Electoral Commission can watch elections being battled. There was election violence, he has not spoken about it. There was election malpractice, he has not spoken about it. There was election rigging, he has not spoken about it. Huyu chairman wa election commission lazima aangaliwe vizuri sana. Akikubalishwa aendelee na hii tabia, 2027 hii nchi itakuwa inawaka moto. Hii nchi itakuwa inawaka moto. Mimi nasikia waliotoka pale katika
This morning they have sworn in the IEBC. We'll have commissioners in place. And we're going to have by-elections. And that is our first test ya kupeana heshima na Kasongo. Tunataka tuheshimiane.
Huyu vice chairman wa IEBC ameanza kuingilia uchaguzi wa Magharibi. Ameenda pale kwa hoteli Malindi kukutana na governor naitwa Mungaro na kupeana list ya presiding officers. Ndio waanze kuwa compromised. Huyu vice chairman wa commission ame-intimidate everybody. Amechukua list ya presiding officers, amepatia Mungaro, governor wa Kilifi. Akijua ya kwamba hiyo uchaguzi ya Magharibi inarudiwa because it was nullified by the High Court because of irregularities. Ninaandika barua leo usiku, iende kwa chairman asubuhi kumuuliza ni kwa nini huyu vice chairman ameenda Magharibi to meddle with that election. Hakuna commissioner anakuwa deployed kwao. Wanakuwa deployed.
It's now very clear to us and to the people of Kenya that IEBC is totally compromised, and we are happy that this has been confirmed this early, because had this not been confirmed this early, they could have duped Kenyans that they can supervise and pretend over the general elections. For the first time since the electoral history of Kenya, IEBC has confirmed that they will be using uniformed officers and plainclothes officers. Those plainclothes officers is a tool for ballot stuffing. IEBC has given ballot papers to government agencies that have been pre-marked, and the officers in civilian, their work is to figure out how to get the pre-marked ballots into the ballot box.
Ladies and gentlemen, listening to the video clips that we have begun this video with, all pointers are actually, or all fingers are currently being pointed at the IEBC commissioners and the IEBC chairperson. The people doing this are people within the united opposition circles. But one thing is actually clear. With the language that is currently being spoken, or with whatever we all have witnessed in the past few days during this by-election period, I tell you, the IEBC that we have in the country right now is a ticking time bomb. A time bomb that might explode, costing this country its dignity, its peace, and its sovereignty. But the question that I will ask, the people that we have in the united opposition, they are telling us about this IEBC. They're telling us about how the current IEBC commissioners and the IEBC chairperson, Erastus Edang ETHEKON, are compromised. Constitutionally, these people, or these members of parliament, are given the mandate constitutionally to file petitions seeking the removal from office of IEBC commissioners that they believe they don't actually meet the expectations to continue holding the offices that they hold as IEBC commissioners. Allow me to speak constitutionally, and I want us to speak constitutionally right now, because if there is one thing that we are going to follow to the latter is the Constitution of Kenya. The Constitution 2010 outlines ways in which an IEBC commissioner and the IEBC chairperson can be removed from office. And to actually give you an insight to that, in the year 2022, when President William Ruto was announced and declared the president by the IEBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati, 4 IEBC commissioners walked out of the IEBC and made a different declaration, where they termed the said declaration by Wafula Chebukati as null and void, for they believed that Raila Amolo Odinga had been rigged out of his win as the president-elect of the Republic of Kenya back in the year 2022. So what did William Ruto's members of parliament do when this declaration came in? They took their constitutional privilege to file a motion and a petition that was moved in the floor of the National Assembly, seeking the removal from office of the 4 IEBC commissioners that were led by Ms. Juliana Cherera, Mr. Justus Nyang'aya, Ms. Irene Masit, and Mr. Francis Waderi. Those were the 4 IEBC that refused to be compromised to sing to the tune of Wafula Chebukati back in the year 2022. Now, I want to read to you the said petition that was moved in the floor of the National Assembly in the year 2022. The Republic of Kenya, the National Assembly, 13th Parliament, first session, conveyance of petitions regarding removal of members of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission. And I start. Honorable members, number 1, Standing Order 225-2 of the National Assembly Standing Orders requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than those presented by a member. In this regard, the Speaker, then Moses Wetangula, said, I wish to convey to the House that my office is in recipient of 4 petitions seeking the removal of commissioners of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, IEBC, pursuant to the provision of Article 251 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Number 2, honorable members, Article 251 of the Constitution grants any citizen the right to petition the National Assembly for the removal of a member of a Constitution Commission or holder of an independent office for either serious violation of the Constitution or statute, gross misconduct, or incompetence. The petitions received are as follows. Petition A, petition by the Republican Party. The petition seeks the removal from office of Ms. Juliana Cherera, Mr. Justus Nyang'aya, Ms. Irene Masit, and Mr. Francis Waderi on the grounds of violation of the Constitution and other laws. In the petition, the Republican Party states that the 4 commissioners, through their action of issuing a press statement rejecting election results on grounds that the chairperson of the IEBC had conducted the verification and tallying process in opaque manner. That was what the Republican Party presented before the National Assembly. Now, allow us to get back to the current the current IEBC that we have. You have all had members affiliated to Gachaguas. all pointing fingers at the current IEBC chairman and the IEBC commissioners. But the question we ask them, don't they know that the law actually allows them to move petitions not only in the National Assembly, but also in the High Court of the Republic of Kenya, seeking the removal from office of the IEBC commissioners that they believe these IEBC commissioners have violated the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, or the guidelines that actually guide IEBC commissioners. We have seen, and we are speaking in regards to the 27th November by-election that took place. It was reported, and it has been evident, that the 27th November by-election was a by-election that was marred by discrepancies, a by-election that actually revealed that the current IEBC we have in office, it's not an IEBC that can be trusted. But to our surprise, instead of the IEBC addressing the issues of voter bribery, the violence that took place during the voting, the state-deployed goons who actually camped into the IEBC voting centers to steal votes or to rig the election. Instead of addressing all these issues that have been pending before them, today the IEBC chairperson, Erastus Edang ETHEKON, through his mandate and the authority bestowed upon him as the IEBC commissioner, as the IEBC chairperson, he went ahead to gazette the winners of the November 27th by-election. And I read, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission IEBC has officially gazetted the winners of the 24 by-elections held across select regions in Kenya on November 27, 2025. In a Gazette notice published on Monday, the Electoral Body confirmed the declaration of winners, stating, in exercise of the powers conferred by Article 88(4), 97(1), and 1A, 98, 1A, 101, Article 177, 1A, and Article 94 of the Constitution of Kenya, Sections 4 of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission Act, Sections 39, 1, 1A, and 1B of the Elections Act, regulations, and whatever, they say, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission declares that the persons whose names are listed in the first and second and third schedules hereunder were elected to the Senate, National Assembly, and County Assemblies, having received the majority of the vote cast in the by-elections held on the 27th November 2025 and complied with the provisions of the Elections Act and Constitution. Listen, and complied with the provisions of the Elections Act and the Constitution. We ask, did the Better North by-election comply with the Elections Act and the Constitution? Did the Malava by-election, where the opposition candidates were being stabbed, were being arrested, their cars were being torched, did that comply with the Elections Act and the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya? I continue. The by-elections were conducted in areas where vacancies had risen due to the death of office holders or vacancies former holders had received cabinet nominations. Now the seat contested, I won't read further, but the IEBC actually gazetted the winners of the 27th November 2025 by-elections. We all know that the top by-elections, the most contested by-elections, the Better Northern Malava by-elections, were marred with violence, voter bribing, and voter rigging. A lot of things have happened, which the IEBC has the evidence. But instead of taking their constitutional mandate under the Constitution 2010 to actually deal with these two by-elections, they went ahead to gazette Wamudete as the winner of Berry North and David Dako as the winner of Malava constituency. So allow me to inform you that we all know if this IEBC continues to the year 2027 and it becomes the IEBC that will actually oversee the general election, then we will have something that will be birthed out of this election that we are not ready for. And that is why one Ndegwa speaking told us that the IEBC chairperson, Edang ETHEKON, being in the position that he holds and having displayed the recent traits that he has displayed in the recent by-election, he actually tells us that the IEBC cannot be trusted. And so, constitutionally, how can these people be changed? Or how can we have an IEBC that is for the people and that is actually set to oversee a fair and credible election? Now, according to the Constitution of Kenya, Chapter 251, the removal from office. Chapter 15, commissions and independent offices. Article 1, it says, a member of the commission, other than the ex-officio member or the holder of an independent office, may be removed from office only for number 1, serious violations of this constitution or any other law, including a contravention of Chapter 6. If you look at our channel, we actually reviewed Chapter 6 in the recent videos. Gross misconduct, number 2. Now, Article 1, Subarticle B. It says, gross misconduct, whether in the performance of the members or office holders' functions or otherwise. Number C, physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of the office. Number D, incompetence or bankruptcy. Now, Subarticle 2, it says, a person's desiring the removal of a member of a commission or of a holder of an independent office on any grounds specified in Clause 1 may present a petition to the National Assembly setting out the alleged facts constituting that ground. Article 3 says, the National Assembly shall consider the petition, and if it is satisfied that it discloses a ground under Clause 1, shall send the petition to the President. On receiving the petition under Clause 3, the President A may suspend the member or office holder pending the outcome of the complaint, and B shall appoint a tribunal in accordance with Clause 5. Clause 5 says, the tribunal shall consist A person who holds or has held office as a judge of a superior court, who shall be the chairperson. B, at least 2 persons who are qualified to be appointed as high court judges, and C, 1 other member who is qualified to assess the facts in respect of the particular ground for removal. Now, Article 6 says, the tribunal shall investigate the matter expeditiously, report on the facts, and make a binding recommendation to the President, who shall act in accordance with the recommendation within 30 days. 7. A person suspended under this article is entitled to continue to receive 1/2 of the remuneration and benefits of the office while suspended. Ladies and gentlemen, it is clear. And I continue. It says that each commission and each holder of an independent office may conduct investigations on its own initiative, or a complaint to a commission or the holder of an independent office may be made by any person entitled to institute court proceedings under Article 22, 1 and 2. The following commissions and independent offices have the power to issue a summon to a witness to assist the purpose of its investigation: the Kenya National Human Rights and Equality Commission, B, the Judicial Service Commission, C, the National Land Commission, and D, the Auditor General. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at what we have spoken here, it lays the ground. But Do you know why these people will continue being into these offices and they won't be removed? Because even if the lawyers or the members of parliament we have in the united opposition goes ahead to file a petition at the National Assembly, those petitions won't see the light of the day with Moses Wetangula as the Speaker of the National Assembly, because from the word go, we all know that Moses Wetangula has declared his allegiance to President William Ruto. He is supposed to be a neutral speaker, but he is not neutral. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how on this election that we are headed to, I don't know how the people shall be heard. I don't know how the people shall be listened. Yes, the Constitution actually lays the ground. The Constitution gives the people and even the opposition the position to, or the powers to actually seek the removal from office of an IEBC chairman or an IEBC commissioner. But those petitions must go through what? Through the National Assembly Speaker. Now, if they can't go through the National Assembly Speaker and they see the light of the day, how will we have a fair and credible election in 2027? And apart from that, let's speak about the judiciary of the Republic of Kenya. The High Court, the Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. Are they in cahoots with the executive? Allow me to tell you, yes, we have seen several. Even the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya declaring that they are so grateful to President William Ruto for what he has been doing for the Judicial Service Commission. Mtazamaji, will the people ever be heard in this country? It's a question I need you to answer me. And do you think that this constitution that we have, the Constitution 2010 gives the people the power to question anybody that that is put in a certain office to oversee or run their matters on their behalf, to run the nation on their behalf. The IEBC chairperson, Erastus Edang ETHEKON, if this man continues holding the office he has as the IEBC chairperson, what should we expect in 2027? In reference to what we have seen in the recent by-election in Beren North and Malava constituencies. I need your comments on the comment section, because I am in a dilemma. What can we do as a country to rescue ourselves from this IEBC? It is an IEBC that the people rejected from the word go, but it was forced down their neck. Now, how can they outmaneuver it? Even if you turn out in millions to vote, even if you get out of all of you and go and vote with an IEBC that is compromised, do you think that you will actually be declared the winners even if you win? We know Karish won in Beren North. We know Seth Panyako won in Malava constituency. But who are the holders of those positions that they won? It is those that were rigged in by the IEBC. Leave a comment on the comment section.